Hey guys, welcome to our kitchen. Today we've got a video that I'm really excited about. We're making a big old spring roast at Easter dinner, and we're going to take you through step by step how to make this super flavorful dinner.
So you might have seen our Christmas dinner. This is kind of a little bit inspired by that, but we're focusing on Easter, so it's going to be very seasonal, lots of spring, fresh flavors, a bit of a lighter roast dinner. So we're kind of taking inspo from more of like the Mediterranean cuisine, Italian food. So it's like a British-Italian hybrid roast.
We've got 5 great recipes to share with you today. Everything going from your main roast all the way through to your pudding, which I'm actually really excited about. Cool. So should we just get straight into the first recipe?
First, we're going to get started with making our centerpiece, the main event, and we're going to be doing a mushroom and leek Wellington. We're also adding in some chopped nuts in there, so it's a little bit like a nut roast as well, because I personally love a nut roast for a roast dinner. We've also got some nice herbs, lots of deep umami flavors, so it's going to be rich but also light and fresh, perfect for an Easter Sunday roast. We're going to start with prepping our veg. First, I'm going to chop up the leek. I'm going to trim the ends, wash it, and then finely slice it. Then we're going to prep some garlic and our mushrooms as well. We're cutting up our mushrooms nice and finely. This is because we want it to be quite a kind of a fine mixture, so everything is really nicely evenly dispersed. When we've got our nuts in there, our leeks and all the things, you get a nice mouthful of everything all at once with no super chunky bits. I mean, you could leave some of the mushrooms a little bit chunkier, and with the nuts as well, when we chop them, I'm going to do some really fine, so it's more of like a crumb, and then some nice whole bits, so you get that nice little crunch and extra texture in there. But yeah, we want it all nice and finely chopped, so you could also do that in a food processor as well to speed things up. But yeah, we've got a kind of range. We've got some sort of bigger bits and then some littler bits, but kind of roughly is gonna do the job. We've gone for a bag of mixed unsalted nuts, so we've got some almonds, cashews, Brazil, walnut, and I think some macadamia in there as well. The main bulk of our mixture is ready. We have sautéed our leeks with the garlic, added our mushrooms, and then the last thing we've just done is added our chopped nuts. So the next thing we need to do is add in all of the little flavor boosts, the things that are going to make it taste delicious and bind it all together. So we've got some breadcrumbs, miso, some soy sauce, nutritional yeast, and then some herbs. It's a pretty simple recipe, but it really does taste delicious, and especially when paired with that pastry, it's just going to be chef's kiss. Cannot wait to eat this. Our mixture is now completely made, so the next thing that we need to do is roll it up into a nice little sausage shape. So to do that, we want to let it cool first, and then we are going to put it in some parchment paper and use our hands to compact it really nice and tightly.
Gently does it.
I am just using the leftover pastry that we trimmed off the ends to make a little kind of lattice pattern. This is very much an optional step, but just gonna make it look a little bit extra special and pretty at the end. So I'm doing them into strips, and then I'm cutting them in half, and then I'm gonna do like the crisscross pattern. Moving on to the next recipe, we're going for another roasted element. This is a roast after all, so we're going to be doing some roasted carrots, but again we're using those lovely Mediterranean fresh inspired ingredients. We're going to be doing a gremolata. So what we have done is we've got these lovely carrots here, but with the carrot top still on, so we're going to chop this up nice and fine and make the gremolata out of this instead of the usual parsley. We've kept the flavours on the carrots themselves pretty simple. It's just olive oil, salt and pepper, because most of the flavour for this dish is going to come in the gremolata. So a gremolata is an Italian herby, traditionally with parsley, lemon zest and garlic, kind of saucy drizzle. But as I said earlier, we're going to be using carrot tops and we're going to be adding in lots of olive oil as well.
Since I'm the one dressed as a carrot today, I thought it's only fitting that I do the carrot taste test. So, I mean, it works. You've got that herby, garlicky gremolata that's just working so well with the sweet, slightly salty carrots as well. It is delicious. And we've never made a gremolata using carrot tops before, but it's 100% worth trying if you can get those carrot tops at your greengrocers.
No roast would be complete without the roast potatoes, so of course we have to do a roast potato recipe for you, but instead of doing a traditional roast potato, we're going to be taking our inspiration from the Mediterranean and we're going to be doing some lemony garlic roast potato with a polenta and rosemary coating. So they're going to be super crispy but fluffy on the inside. We're going to start the potatoes off just parboiling on the heat. We put them into some cold water. We're going to let the water heat up and bring it to a boil. We're going to turn the heat off, put the lid on and let them continue parboiling a little bit in the residual heat. A little flavoured oil to go on the potatoes now. The potatoes are already in the oven with their polenta coating on and they're going to stay in the oven for half the time, so about 20 minutes. We're going to pull them out and add this flavour oil. So we're going to be adding some lemon juice, lemon peel, garlic and olive oil. Halfway through cooking the potatoes, so we're going to take them out now and we're going to add in the extra flavour boost. We've also decided to include the lemon segments as well. We don't want to waste any part of this lemon and we also want these potatoes to be super duper lemony. The next recipe is a very simple little side dish. We're going to be doing a sautéed garlic and lemon cavolo nero, so you could also swap this out for any kind of kale, a spring green or even some tender stem broccoli, and this is just a nice fresh simple vibrant thing on the plate to kind of help balance everything out. Not everything we do needs to be packed full of loads and loads of different flavours. Some people may say that a roast is not a roast without gravy, but as this is not a traditional British roast, we are going to go for a little bit of a lighter option, so a nice squeeze of fresh lemon juice, and if you've got any of that gremolata left over, then you could just drizzle that all over everything. The next recipe is our dessert, and this is going to be such a crowd pleaser. So we're going to be making a bit of a hybrid concoction that we've come up with. Imagine a bread and butter pudding with a fruit crumble combined, but instead of regular bread or brioche, we're going to be using a hot cross bun. And then for the crumble, instead of doing apples or pears, we're going to be using rhubarb because it's rhubarb season and it's such a bright, springy looking fruit. Well, actually, I think it's a vegetable. So yeah, it's going to be really delicious. We're also going to be adding in some chocolate. So all the flavors going on, we've got the chocolate, the rhubarb, the hot cross buns, and then we've got some vegan custard, which is going to form our kind of puddingy aspect of it. So we're going to be layering it all up together. While we're cooking up our compote, we're going to move on and prep the crumble topping. So to bring in that little bit of the Mediterranean flavour, for the nuts we're going to be going with pistachios. Pistachio and rhubarb are just a absolutely lovely flavour combination. Also they look great together, the pink and the green, so it's going to be a beautiful colourful dish as well as full of flavour. So we're going to add in our oats, flour, sugar and pistachios and a little pinch of salt, and then we're going to rub in our vegan margarine after. As you can see, we just had to go to a bigger bowl because the other one was far too small. Now we're going to move on to preparing the hot crust buns. So like with bread and butter pudding, you want to butter your bread, or in this case hot crust buns, and then place them into your dish. We're going to slice them in half and then we're going to butter it, but I think I'd quite like to have a mixture of this side up and this side up to get the nice cross. So I'm going to butter some of the tops and then some of the insides. Our hot crust buns are nice and buttered, and the next thing we're going to do is nestle in some little pieces of rhubarb and some dark chocolate. We've got a bowl of shop-bought vegan custard here, and we are using the brand The Coconut Collab. You could obviously make your own custard from scratch, vegan custard, but for ease, because we're making so many things here today for our roast dinner, we have bought shop-bought, but we want the consistency to be a little bit runnier, so we're going to add in some oat milk just to thin it down a little bit. Here we have our finished springtime Easter Mediterranean inspired roast.
Yes.
It looks absolutely gorgeous, if I do say so.
I cannot wait to tuck in. All of these things on their own taste absolutely delicious. Those spring carrots, the cavolo, nero potatoes, and of course the nut roast main Wellington main event type
Which
thing.
we did actually make for a roast the other day.
Yes.
So it was like a really good trial run before doing this. We've kind of leveled it up a bit, haven't we?
We have.
So.
I think it's the perfect thing if you've got friends coming over, if you've got family coming over, you know, on these slightly warmer weeks when the sun does come out here in the UK for the first time ever. This is the perfect thing to share with your friends and family. They'll love you for making this.
Yes, and not just for Easter weekend. Obviously, you can make this across the Easter weekend, but as Charlie said, all kind of a spring and summer.
Spring, summer roast.
Yeah, imagine sat outside, a nice table.
Pub garden, pint, spring roast.
Ooh, what, you taking this to the pub, are you?
Yeah.
Tupperware. So imagine sat out in your garden, big old Wellington down in the middle, lemony flavours, wine, breeze.
Good times.
Stunning.
If you like vegan recipes, then you will like our channel. So make sure you hit subscribe and leave us a comment letting us know what you thought out of this whole smorgasbord of vegan roast for the springtime ideas you would like to make for yourself the most.
Yes, and I'd also love to know what are your kind of like family traditions for Easter. What do you guys make for your like Easter roast or your Easter meal? Like, not everyone has a roast. I don't know if we're gonna have a roast this year, even if we've just done this, but yeah, I'd love to know what your kind of like foodie Easter traditions are down in the comments. Also, not forgetting our hot cross bun pudding.
Yeah, I was going to say, is one of your traditions a bread and butter pudding? Because maybe you could buck traditions and make a hot cross bread and butter pudding.
Don't forget with the crumble topping.
With the crumble topping.
So really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you in our next one.
Bye.